Visitors to downtown Trinidad catch a glimpse into Colorado's past.
When that urban renewal sort of took over the United States, Trinidad wasn't one of the places that you would immediately think to start renovating, and we sort of got skipped over.
As a result, many of Trinidad's historic storefronts remain unchanged from their turn-of-the-century appearance, something residents now take pride in.
Now in the 2000s, that's been a huge blessing for us because we have all these true treasured gems, stone buildings, adobe buildings, all of those sort of really great things that we kind of lost in the 70s.
And some tables and chairs over here. And there's
For developer Penny Saidi, one building in particular caught her attention.
We walked out and I said, that building is adorable. We have to have that building. We are going to refurbish it. We're going to be putting in a nice restaurant here and luxury apartments upstairs.
For Penny, the real charm lies below the ground.
Here's our garden level. You can just see people sitting there having a cup of tea, visiting their neighbors. It's so cozy and hometown feel.
These below-ground shops were once common features in towns across Colorado.
I was in love. I just thought it was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Historian Tracy Beach has researched these hidden storefronts around the state.
This is Old West, and you have to really think of all the people 100 years ago that were walking right over this to go into these stores. As the generations have gone on, people have forgotten what these things are. With the pavement lights, they would have them on sidewalks or in manhole covers, or like this, a big, huge section of the floor covered in pavement lights, which would light up the entire underground area.
As picturesque as these features may seem, form followed function. The architects built down for a reason.
Space was a luxury, and you had these tiny little main streets, and you had a lot of people that want to open up stores. So they would have below ground shops at basement level, then you'd also have your first and second floor. This allowed them to rent out more space.
Sunken entrances are only part of the hidden treasures beneath our feet.
We're looking at what was under our sidewalk here.
Lee Newhart owns the Great Divide Bicycle Shop in Pueblo. He knew he had something special in his basement.
You've got the header there, and you have the open space here where there was a grid so they could provide light.
These windows looked out into a network of tunnels, all leading to the train depot.
I have gone up and down Union Avenue, and all the buildings have this. There's doors and windows all through downtown.
A lot of stories from way back when Prohibition came about. There was a lot of liquor moving down through the tunnels here.
A lot of times the ones down below would be maybe a laundromat or a meat market or barber shop. It'd be kind of like a below ground mall.
It may sound futuristic for its time, but it was an idea born out of necessity.
This is back in the Old West. We didn't have paved streets, we didn't have sidewalks. We had mud and horses and the things that horses do when they have to go. The women had those big, huge, flowy dresses and everything, and it's a lot easier to go shopping below ground away from all the mud and the horses.
Pueblo's tunnel network met an abrupt end in 1921 when the Arkansas River flooded much of downtown.
It got up to 11 feet high, the water, and so the silt just flooded these tunnels.
Too much silt to dig out.
And so most of the tunnels, they just sealed them up.
Those that remain faced new dangers. A road and sidewalk repair project in front of Lee Newhart's store filled in half of the historic tunnel space surrounding his property.
In some places, the sidewalk was in pretty bad shape that it was going to possibly collapse eventually anyway.
In Florence, one owner sealed up his for supernatural reasons.
The owner explained to me that he felt that the vault underneath the street was haunted, so he wanted to keep the ghosts in by dry stacking the door shut.
Tracy Beach believes these sunken treasures can play a huge role in revitalizing downtown tourism.
They are pretty much in almost every single town. You can open up these tunnels and you can bring in tourism.
The first step in that process, educating the building owners.
So when people come to Colorado now, they want to experience history. They want to experience the Old West. So you have a town that has something like this, you're going to get the tourists.